folks, welcome to Myers Metal Detectors, located in sunny Tampa, Florida, where we sell nothing but fun and adventures, treasure hunting gear, and anything you can imagine for metal detecting. Give us a call, 813-237-1939. Happy hunting and dig deeper.
Live from sunny Florida, it's Treasure Talk.
Welcome, folks. Welcome, Joe. How you doing, buddy?
Good, brother. How you doing today?
Awesome. And of course, we're live here on Treasure Talk, and we've got an exciting guest here. We're going to talk about a lot of stuff, some Civil War shows, American Digger magazine. We're just going to have a lot of fun. But I guess before we get started, I better run through the disclaimer.
Absolutely.
All righty. Of course, today's show is brought to you by your friends at Myers Metal Detectors, where we sell fun and adventure. And of course, the views, thoughts, and opinions expressed by the Treasure Talk guests and members belong solely to the guests and members, not necessarily to Phil Myers, Jocelyn Myers, Jeff Moan, Joe Veazey, or Myers Metal Detectors. Got it, finally. All right.
You kind of froze up for a second.
Yes, I did. I froze on my own. Of course, the purpose of Treasure Talk is to promote the hobby of metal detecting and treasure hunting and to educate our members in a fun, informative manner. And of course, Joe's here to amuse us, aren't you, Joe?
Hey, I'm a funny guy, you know? I have to make everybody laugh on this show.
All right. And for those who don't know, my good friend Jeff is up in Canada on a train going through the, I guess, the Rocky Mountains or whatever mountains it is up there. And he's going to be in Canada for a while. And I think he'll be back, I guess, the first week in August. Because this week we have Butch, and next week we have KT and Sid Jones from the Tocha Treasure. So then Jeff will be back. But Joe, my good friend, is decided to help me do this.
I'm just filling in, folks. Just the facts.
You do an excellent job, Joe. So thank you for doing it. But let's go ahead and bring on our guest, shall we?
Absolutely.
And before we do that, let's tell everybody to come to the Metal Detecting Club meeting on Tuesday night.
Yeah, tomorrow night at 7 p.m. at the Cornucopia building, which is located just
south of Fletcher.
Just south of Fletcher on Central Avenue, Cornucopia. Yeah. You'll see a big banner hanging from one of his lift trucks in the front.
Yes, and it's 13336 North Central Avenue at 7 o'clock. And of course, Richard was on last week, so if you have any coin questions, be sure to come because it'd be a perfect time to get them answered. But I'm going to go ahead and bring Butch on. So let's say welcome, Butch.
Hi, guys. Hey, everybody.
Welcome, Butch.
Where's Jeff?
He's up there in the Rockies.
Oh, man. Did he get enough time off?
He got a whole month off, and the weather is a lot cooler up there.
Just kidding with you, Jeff. If you watch this rebroadcast, just kidding. Yeah, he's probably in a good place right now. I don't know about down there in Florida, but I imagine it's hotter than it is here. And it's being quite toasty here.
Yes, it is here too. It's our normal hot, but I saw my son moved to Denver, Colorado. I was watching the news, and they're having a record heat wave in the center of the country.
Oh boy!
Also over in England and Europe, they're having a record.
I heard about that. Yeah, I couldn't imagine that in England, but
yeah, and they don't have a lot of the people don't have air conditioners, and it's up over in the hundreds. So,
jeez,
that's insane.
Yeah, that's going to kill a lot of people, that heat.
That's a sad thing. You know, if you don't know how much you miss air conditioning until you try to do without it. But I actually went metal detecting with a fellow up in New Jersey, and he didn't have air conditioning because they generally didn't need it up there. But I went during one of the hottest summers I think they'd ever had, and I stayed with him, and I had to sleep by the window with a window fan pointed right at me, and I was still just miserable. So
yeah, I grew up in Maryland, and I would, as a kid, we didn't have air conditioning, and I would sleep in the basement on the cement floor.
Yeah, I mean, you did what you had to do.
You did what you had to do because it was just so hot. And sometimes it got hotter there than it does here in Florida. You get 100 degrees. We get 90 some degrees and we're guaranteed to see some rain clouds. So
I'm finding more limits now, but I've been at this like what 52 years. Used to, if I had a decent place to go, I never let heat stop me in the summer. I mean, I was out there some days that I was nuts to be out, but it was usually in the woods, so I had some kind of cover on me. But
right, a little shade.
yeah, right. No
But
beach hunting.
yeah, but then you had the bushes attacking you, right?
Oh yeah, the vengeful vegetation. Yeah, plants will kill you. I'm telling you, they will. They have thorns and all kinds of things on them.
Yeah, I've been attacked over the years, and my wife will remember. I got attacked in Arizona by the cholla jumping cactus.
Oh yeah, those will get you. Yes.
Those got me. They got me right in the tail end, and a pretty lady had to take her tweezers. Now I don't pack tweezers in my suitcase, but thank God she packed them in hers, and she pulled them out.
No. Oh no.
Ah,
That's rough. Yet another thing to keep on you when you're metal detecting. Although don't expect your buddies to do that. But
Yes, for sure. So I did want to remind folks that if they're on the YouTube, Joe can see that. I think you can see those, can't you, Joe? The
I
comments.
actually I see the Facebook comments and the YouTube comments.
Okay, and Jocelyn's over there on Facebook too. So she'll, if you have some questions, we didn't have a sheet out on the show, so on Facebook. So if you have questions, just type them. Hopefully, one of us will ask Butch. But before we get started with questions, let's talk about your upcoming show.
yeah, let's do that. Next weekend. And everybody calls it this. Okay, this flyer, let me explain, is an old flyer because I don't have the new one in front of me. But that gives you an idea. But everyone calls it a Civil War show. And actually, the name of it is Antique Militaria and Americana. But it's also a detecting show. There's going to be a lot of dug artifacts. And I'm not talking about just Civil War. I'm talking about all through history. There'll be arrowheads, Indian stuff there, so it's not all metal detecting. There will, of course, be some detector dealers there. And right now, guys, what is really amazing, we have I think Anita said 219 8-foot tables already declared by dealers. And I say dealers, people selling stuff and displaying stuff.
Right.
And let me tell everybody where it is too before we get too far along. If you're in North Georgia or Southern Tennessee, you're right there at it because it's Camp Jordan Arena, East Ridge, Tennessee, which is the first exit out of Georgia into Tennessee. So you got the best of both states there. And you pull off the interstate, the Camp Jordan Arena is right past the stop sign. You'll see it as soon as you pull it off the interstate. Air conditioned. We were talking about air conditioning earlier. It's air conditioned. It's going to be a great time. This is one actually put on by American Digger magazine. Now, I attend a lot of shows throughout the year and detecting events, but this is one of two that is actually American Digger is the spearheading group behind that. And
Awesome.
so, if I got anything to do with it, I'm going to make it as fun as I can. So I think, I know it's going to be a great time. This is the 6th year we've done that, by the way.
I wish you were a little closer because I definitely would love to attend that show.
It's
Sounds awesome.
I don't know how far of a drive it would be for y'all, but it's probably too far from the central Atlanta, basically, in Georgia. Anybody around that area, it's about a 2-hour drive there, and it's all interstate. So, there will be some people making the trip up there from probably Florida. I don't know as far south as you guys, but
Yeah,
it's well worth
probably about a 7 or 8 hour drive.
Yeah, it would be tough. Although we do have dealers that come to these events from all across the country, and some of them even break it up into 2 days. But as far as
well, you have Indian artifacts, and I'm sure you've got bottles and everything that's dug.
Everything dug, everything non-dug too. We cut it off at World War II, and we don't encourage weapons. There are no modern weapons there.
Right.
But prior to that, there are, like muskets, swords, things of that nature. Of course, there's old glass. There's newspapers and old books are a big seller. There's currency. It's not a coin show, but still you're going to see a lot of currency, from past.
Right.
And of course, the American Digger magazine will have several tables set up there, so you'll be able to check out the latest and greatest American Digger.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then you go back to Phil's and purchase it from him.
Yes, you can. We got them on the counter all the
Yeah,
time. Hey, I did get a comment from Michael Boyles. He's a friend of the show, and he says, "Butch, when you see Emily and family, tell her I said hello."
Oh gosh, yes, Emily will be there. And anybody that has not met Emily, aka Little Dirt Digger, let me tell you, you may have seen her on YouTube, but she is the real thing. And it's always a pleasure to have her, not just at our shows, but I see her at the other shows I go to as well. So her and her parents both are just good people. And I tell you what, she is a tough detective. She's found some things that a lot of people are envious of.
Yeah, when you get kids involved, kids can go all in, and they just don't stop.
They do. And if you can get a kid excited about it, then it's just amazing how far they'll go. You can't push them, but just take them with you every chance you get, and they'll turn into something.
Right.
But the funny thing about Emily is she came to her parents and wanted to get into metal detecting. It's not something that they really steered her for.
Right.
And I think she more or less got the whole family into metal detecting.
Yeah, and she probably saw either a YouTube video or a TV show like the Digger Show.
Exactly.
And that spurred her interest. And I see that with the new TV show. Have you seen the one with the guys from Duck Dynasty?
Duck Dynasty, yeah. And kind of to let the cat out of the bag a little bit, but we've been in touch with Jace from that show through his agent, and he's going to be giving us an interview for American Digger magazine in the next couple of days. So that'll be fun. And the thing is, okay, I can't say all, every detector show I've ever seen, they always add a little silliness or, some of it's scripted.
Yes.
But these guys, Jace in particular, he loves metal detecting. He's kind of like KG and Ringy are. KG and Ringy are absolutely, they're all about metal detecting. And
right.
Jace seems to be the same way. So we're hoping the show will be as good as what his reputation is.
Yeah, I'm sure it will be because they just you can tell when somebody loves detecting. You can tell.
That's it. We've all seen a lot of detecting shows on TV. You can tell if somebody's not a real detectorist.
Right.
That's also the ones that I saw a picture recently at one show. Guy had his search coil on upside down. So I don't think we're going to see any of that kind of stuff. I hope.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think so either.
One thing's for sure with the Duck Dynasty folks helping out with Garrett.
Yeah.
Garrett's backing them. We're starting to see people come and ask for Garrett's at the shop.
That's right. That's very smart marketing. And Garrett has always been on top of things like that, especially since Steve Moore took over and a couple other people changed things around. Well, Steve didn't take it over, but I think he's their marketing director. But they got, first of all, they got involved with the Nat Geo show, Diggers and KG and Ringy. They've got them on board now. And now with Duck Dynasty, you're going to see a lot of Garrett sold. And they're good detectors.
Oh, absolutely. They're excellent detectors. Their waterproof ability of the AT Pro and the AT Max is awesome. I just wish they would have made their Ace Apex multi-frequency.
I know.
Made it waterproof. They would have made that waterproof. It would have been a home run, and we would be selling them all the time.
But, and I'm hoping in the future we'll see all detectors eventually become waterproof. I mean, it's not that hard a technology nowadays, I don't think.
Yeah, because everybody's
doing all search coils. When I was growing up, even our old detectors, generally the search coils were waterproof, so we were already sticking them down in creeks and stuff. But however, once you dropped it in the creek, then it was over with because it shored everything out.
Yes. Or if it was fresh water, you had a chance if you got them batteries out quick.
Well, I actually was in a snow bank. Well, I say a snow bank. It had been snowing. I was out in the field, and there was some melting going on. And I had my old whites, and I had it sitting down behind me while I searched around the hole to find my target. all of a sudden I noticed the detector was sounding really crazy and breaking up. And I looked over the other end of it where the box was, and it was completely submerged in a snow melt. So it eventually, I got it dried out and eventually started working again, but not that day it didn't.
Yeah. Yeah. So Garrett products are awesome. And yeah, we are seeing some movement on those since those guys are on TV now. But I think it's just on their streaming, Fox streaming
It
channel.
is. It's Fox streaming right now. I don't think it's the regular TV,
Yeah.
which I don't know why that is, but you know,
They'll probably bring out a show here and there.
yeah,
On the regular TV.
I would hope they do because Duck Dynasty, whether it's scripted or not, those guys have such good messages.
Yes.
And the detective world could use that. It
For
really
sure.
would. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, you got some comments there, Joe?
Yeah, I actually, I didn't want to interrupt you guys, but I just wanted to give a shout out to a bunch of folks. We look like we have a full house tonight.
Yeah.
We've got Digging Canuck Treasure Hunter. Hello, Liz. We've
Hey,
got
Liz.
Ricky T, Rick Tumbleson. Hello. Shannon Bortner, Adventures in Michigan with Lisa. We also have Digging Florida with Bill Gross, also known as Carl.
Carl Gross.
Hello, John David.
We know him at the club.
Yeah. Stacia R. Hello.
John David said hi to Jocelyn.
Exactly. Ray Jones, Shannon Border, Uncle
got it.
Pete, Kimberly Kramer,
You guys are good. I can't keep up with the messages.
Metal Detecting
Can't
North
either.
Carolina.
I asked him to do it.
Hello. Rick Shabbat.
He's good.
Hello. Mark Fiorello. We've also got Delco Detecting. Hello to you. And Mr. Tim Naylor, our good friend, the Mumbles Man. We've got him in the house. How you doing, brother? Rick Savari from beautiful Clearwater, Florida. Hello. Mark Watrous, Double G Diggs, Ode Pilon, Jerry Purdy. I believe Jerry was the one that won last week on the show.
He won the Peso Macho.
Yeah, exactly. Congratulations again, brother.
Yes.
And Andrew T. Andrew T, I know, is a good friend of Phil's. We just wanted to say hello to these folks. We appreciate you guys joining the show.
Absolutely. And we appreciate Butch coming on here with us.
Hey,
So
speaking
you
of
got your
somebody
show
said
this
something about winners, I didn't even bounce this off you guys, but however you guys want to give it away, why don't we? Okay, here's the catch. We'll give away a free subscription to American Digger Magazine for 1 year. But if you win it, you have to promise to go to Phil's and buy something because he sells these magazines. And if we give you a subscription, you won't buy them from Phil. So you got to go over and talk with Phil and get something.
Yeah, I got to buy something else. Yeah,
you got to buy something from Phil, but I'll leave that between y'all. But anyway, give away a subscription.
Absolutely, Butch.
Yeah.
And I'm over there on Saturdays. So if you come see me on a Saturday, I'll actually knock off $5 off your purchase. I know Phil and I haven't talked about that, but I have the authority to do that.
Yeah, he does. Wow. Hey, so we wanted to say hello to a couple of people here. Jocelyn told me I forgot about, and if we didn't mention your name, I'm sorry, folks, but Debbie Edwards, Joe had mentioned Rick Shabbat, and Jocelyn Myers is here too.
Absolutely.
And Michael Boyles, I mentioned him earlier, and Kimberly and John David. I think I got everybody. But
And
there's
Trevor-
more.
and
My
Trevor
friend Tom
Wilson.
Becker.
Yeah, Tom Becker.
Tom's getting a new Deus 2 is going out tomorrow for him. Hey, what happened to Butch?
I disappeared. I'm back
He's
now.
about Trevor Wolfsey and Chuck Martin. Hello, guys. Adventures in Michigan with Lisa. And we're back.
Oh, and I like this guy's comment here. This is my friend Troy Carmichael. And he says, I don't buy anywhere else. Thank you, Troy.
There you go.
And another club member, and this gentleman is a writer, wrote the Second Battle of Cabin Creek,
Wow.
Steve Warren.
Yeah.
Yeah, Steve Warren.
Yeah, he did a presentation at our club, and that was very interesting.
Great guy.
So we got a lot of people on the stream tonight. So
Yeah, come see us at the club because Steve Warren is our raffle chairman.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
the one you go buy your raffle tickets from, and then he calls your name out.
Yes.
Where's your
And you
club meet at? What town is it in?
It's in Tampa.
In Tampa. Okay, I thought so.
So if you're ever coming down
I
our
would have
way,
to do that sooner or later. Yeah.
yeah, we could have you be the speaker
Oh,
for
yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
You
I
make
won't shut up. I mean, you get me started. You just have to turn the microphone off.
Why does Steve say Phil's candy's in the safe?
so. Yeah, the publisher, the Phil's candies in the safe.
Yeah, they see the safe behind me, and then we got a comment that says Phil's candy is in the safe.
I see the safe.
I do like my candy, so let's say that. But Butch, I have to admit, your column is the first one I read in the
I
magazine.
appreciate that. We hear that from a lot of people, and I guess the best thing I can say is bless their hearts.
Of the rose.
But
It's very entertaining.
I love entertaining people, and I love metal detecting, and I love writing, so it just all comes together for that last page.
Yes. And now I have to comment from my friend Rose Fraser. She says, we always buy stuff at Phil's, and she does.
That's good, yeah.
They're excellent customers. Excellent customers.
Her and her husband both. The publisher speaks, but will he ever shut up? But
That's me.
that's Bush's comments there.
The
So,
whole truth.
the whole truth, it is. And
There's
that
actually
was the first page.
a section of all those columns of everyone since the beginning, I guess, in the book. But
Yeah.
now there's new ones being added every day. I do them every 2 months.
Right. So you have the show coming up this weekend, but where's your other show at?
The other show is actually in Charleston, South Carolina, and that is in January, usually the first or second weekend in January, as long as it's not New Year's Eve or something. And that one, do you have the dates for that show, Anita? For Charleston. Nita said it's the weekend of the 7th, and that show, okay, Chattanooga is a great show, but Charleston is a fun show for the whole family because if you've never been to Charleston, there's all kinds of things to do there. There's great restaurants, there's some amusement parks, things to take, historic areas to take the kids and the wife, and it's just a fun show. So that's another one to check into.
Yeah, Charleston is definitely a very, very historical town.
Oh, it is. And
Beautiful.
for anyone that's and this is only for people that rent tables and actually set up in the show. We are very popular at that show because on Friday night when the dealers all set up, we offer a oyster roast for everybody. And you haven't lived until you've seen some of the high rolling dealers take their coats and ties and throw them over their shoulders so they can shuck oysters outdoors with everybody. It's just amazing.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Phil, we got to make a
trip up there, yes, for sure. That would be
That's
fun.
probably a closer drive than Chattanooga, really, for you guys.
Oh yeah, that's 6 hours.
Yeah.
It's
And some great protection there if you can get someone to put you on a spot, but it's like everywhere else. Nobody's just going to tell you their best spots.
Yeah, and the size of the show, is it as big as the one you're doing this weekend, or
It's almost as big. I think last year we had 200 dealer tables there, 8-foot tables, compared to it's probably about the same size actually. I think of Chattanooga as being bigger because the show hall is enormous. It's actually indoor soccer field where they have this.
Oh,
But the one in Charleston is it's more spread out, I guess you would say. It's not as big as a venue, but there's just as many tables in there.
nice. Well, I just want to do a shout out to Dwight Cologne. He's on, and he says hello to you, Butch. He says Uncle Butch is on live.
I see that. My favorite nephew.
Yeah, he's a good guy with
Yeah, it took me a bit to the NAG, right?
Yes, New
Yeah,
Age.
that's
Yes,
right. Yep, Uncle Butch is in the house.
yeah, and
He
he's
is a great guy and
oh
tremendous for the hobby.
He's awesome.
yes. when you see positive people, you just want to hang around them.
Oh yeah, and if you ever meet him in person, he's just like he is on Facebook or on his videos.
Yeah.
He's
I like watching his videos. I just like it because it's just so exciting.
I mean, his excitement is contagious. And
Yes.
the first time I met him, I don't know what led to it, but he started calling me Uncle Butch, and it stuck. So whenever anybody says Uncle Butch, I'm like, oh, that's right.
That's too funny.
And no, you aren't getting anything extra for Christmas, even if you do claim to be my nephew, Dwight.
All righty. So let's get started with some question, folks, for Butch. I've got to load myself, but if you have a particular question, just type it on Facebook, or Joe will find it on YouTube, or hopefully one of us will get it. Jocelyn will get it there on Facebook, hopefully. So I've got some others here, so we're just going to keep rolling down the line here. First off, Butch, which detector are you using right now?
The one I use the most is the XP Deus, and I'm still using the one because I've learned it, and there's a lot to be said for learning your machine. I'm not one that likes to bounce around a lot between machines. However, that being said, that's my favorite relic hunting machine, I guess you would say. For water, I tend to use the Garrett AT Pro, and I also use a Mind Lab somewhat. I've used the Equinox and also the PI machines when I'm in real hot ground or salt or something. And those are my main detectors right now. But I would have to say the Deus is the one that I go to the most often. I love the weight. It's so lightweight.
Yeah, the Deus 1 is an awesome detector. I've been selling a lot of the Deus 2s now, but this is
I would like to try one out. I have not tried it yet. Eventually, I'm sure I'll go to that.
It's an incredible machine.
That's what
I fell in love with it. I've always swung either a Garrett AT Max or the Equinox 600, and which are both of those machines are awesome.
They are.
But there's nothing like this Deus 2. It goes extremely deep. Extremely deep.
I tell you, Deus in general, the XPs, the Deus 1 I get data that I've.
Uh-oh, what happened?
He's coming back. There he is.
I don't know if that's me on something on my table or what. I'm gonna move
I'm lost in the internet.
Yeah. Now you're back. You come back quick, fast, and right now.
I did want to mention my friend Tom Becker. He says, in fact, I drove from Ohio to Tampa to pick up gear and order. And great time hunting with Phil. So yeah, we hit the beach. So
I tell you, one thing I do try to promote is, and I say small dealers tongue in cheek, but like you, like other dealers that we know of.
Absolutely.
I mean, there's a lot to be said from buying a metal detector from someone you can talk to face to face that actually knows how to metal detect.
And used it before and
that's
how to
really
set
what
it up.
you want. You buy something offline off a big warehouse type store or something where they don't metal detect, you're not going to get help with it.
No, not at all.
God forbid, don't go to someone like Phil's and ask him how to use something that you bought off the internet. Buy it from him.
We have that happen, don't we, Joe?
And they're done.
Yeah, we have that from time to time, but it's fortunate enough that I can sell them other things while they're in the shop.
That's true.
Yeah, get them going. We get them going, and sometimes we have to sell them some training because they have no idea what they're doing.
So. Well, and you know that once they get hooked on the hobby, if they do, and I can't imagine anybody not getting hooked on the hobby, they're going to come back to you to get their stuff.
Absolutely, because we get them set up. Because a lot of people that Deus too. That's an awesome detector, but it does have a little bit of learning curve. And the Deus 1 has a learning.
It did. That was, I hate to admit it, but that was the hardest machine for me to ever learn. But once I learned it, I know it. And it's just amazing. But it was a big learning curve for me because I just wasn't used to all that.
This is a question from Troy Carmichael, and Joe, you would probably be and Butch, you could answer this too, but you don't have the Deus too, so I guess it's going to be up to Joe. He's asking, how would you compare your machine with the Equinox 600? I've done very well with it, thinking about getting a different detector. but not for sure. So what's your thoughts, Joe? Since you
Well,
use
I'm going to be quite honest. Moving from the Equinox 600, which is a very, very easy machine to learn, extremely easy, moving over to the Deus 2, there is going to be a little bit of a learning curve. But if you read your manual, they put a very, very extensive manual in the box for you to look it over. And also watch some YouTube videos. But I love the machine. I gone to the same ballparks that I've hunted with the Equinox and went back with the Deus 2, and I found so many more coins that were actually deeper in that 18 to 20, 24-inch range that the Equinox did not pick up. So is it an easy machine to learn? No, but once you start using it, it'll come to you. You just got to practice. Like I always say, knowledge is power and practice is perfect.
That's absolutely true. That's how I learned my Deus to begin with. Is I just kept practicing and had people show me this and that and tried to keep it simple. And but that's I mean, detectors nowadays, they're going to depths that have never been heard of in the past.
Yes.
And my experience has been the Equinox is a great machine, but it seems like the Deus will punch a little bit deeper.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
yeah.
That's just my personal opinion.
I think that once the people learn even the Equinox and the Deus 2 and the Legend, once you learn these detectors, you're going to get a lot of depth, and it's all about learning it. Troy did also want to know, is it true? He's asking, is it true you have to charge the coil? Yes, you have to charge everything.
Yeah.
The headphone module, the housing, and then the coil. All three of them get charged. And speaking of the Deus 2, I guess it'll be on Monday. I have them on my website. People have been asking me because they're using them at the beach here, Butch. They're using them out in the water because they are multi-frequency. I do have the waterproof headphones for those, the Gray Ghosts, coming in tomorrow. So I think I only have 12 of them coming in. So if you want one of those, go to my website and get it real quick.
And there's a comment here from a Facebook user asking me, have you used the 9-inch and the 11-inch coil on the Deus 2? I personally use the 9-inch coil. I prefer a smaller coil because I do more land hunting than I do beach hunting, but it's 9-inch is perfect. I know Phil on he's got the 11-inch coil, and he loves it, especially for the beach.
Yeah, I use 11-inch coil on my Deus 1. That is.
Yeah.
I love
it. They go to the 9-inch or a smaller coil when they come out, that you can get them by themselves, because for relic hunting, I like a smaller coil. I always have. I've always.
It all depends on where you're at. If you're ever in an area with a lot of trash, and most people know this, by all means go with a small coil, because you're going to miss a lot of stuff if you have a big coil in a trashy area.
Yeah, I always said that. I used, years ago, we didn't have the faster processors like the Deus 1 or the Deus 2 or the new detectors. I always used a 6-inch coil or smaller if I could get one for any detector, because you had all that iron and junk in the ground. That was the only way to separate it.
That's
you
right.
Have that real fast processor.
Yeah, that's my favorite machine for trashy areas for a long time was a old Fisher F75 with a hockey puck coil on it. It was a tiny thing. It's about 3 inches, I guess. But it would pluck something out of the trash. Now technology's changed, but back then that's
what we had to do. We had to use the smallest coil we could get, but now the speed of the processor is so much faster now. You can swing that 9-inch or 11-inch coil, but or the 11-inch on the Legend or the Equinox. It's still a very fast processor in those detectors, so it makes it easier. So what other shows do you set up at, Butch?
Oh gosh, we have, after Chattanooga, we have one that's here in my hometown of Marietta, or close to where I'm at, Marietta, Georgia, and that's just north of Atlanta. That is, I think, August, the second weekend in August. after that, there are several more that we usually do, but I'm not going to be able to do them because I'm kind of limited because of eyesight right now.
Right.
But we also do Franklin, Tennessee is a big show we do. That's in December. We do one in Dalton, Georgia. And these are just ones we set up at. In Dalton, Georgia in 1st of February, I believe. Now, we also do a lot of other hunts. Generally, when I can travel to them, we do the Florida hunts, dig stock hunts. We've done the bone hunts. We try to get out to as many different hunts as we can, but we can't do them all. So each year may vary a little bit. But we really, really are enjoying getting out of the detecting events now because not only do we get to meet our fan base, but I get to go out and sneak out and do a little detecting.
Absolutely.
I'm as hooked on detecting as anybody here, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it's great exposure for you also, Butch.
Oh, it is. It amazes me that every event we go to, we've got a pretty large subscriber base, but there will still be people that have not heard of the magazine yet. And generally, those people, once we talk to them and show them the magazine, they're new subscribers. So it's one of those things. Once you have one in hand and see what it's about, most people want it.
Yeah, it's very high quality.
It is. We try to make it high quality. And there's been a lot of good information, detecting wise in some of the magazines in the past. But the things I always hated is they tore up so easily. They were cheap magazines, but they, you kept them for a little while and then they were in a pile and they just started tearing up. Well, American Digger doesn't do that, or it shouldn't do that. It's higher quality.
No, it's higher quality print, and I'll just show the folks.
Yeah, it's
a typical page there.
We spend the extra nickel to make it look good. We really
and it's like National Geographic quality.
Yeah, we try to do that.
Actually, Phil, the pages in this magazine are better quality.
They are.
They're thick, and they have a nice sheen on them.
Yes.
To protect the paper.
They do.
Incredible.
Well, most of the people that, whether they're detectives or whatever that read the magazine, they at heart are collectors, and they want to collect the magazines. And a lot of times that collecting the magazine is just because it's a great reference too. So we try to make them where you can put them away for several years, pull them back out. They're going to be as good as new.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, folks, I did want to remind you, if you're on Facebook, I think you have to give StreamYard permission for us to see your name. So if you do comment and you want us to see your name, you'll have to give StreamYard permission. Jeff always tells the people that. I don't generally, because I see a lot of just Facebook users.
I see that too.
Yeah,
I'm reading a question here. Somebody says, do I ever get up north near Ohio? And I haven't been in a while, but I did go up there and actually detect and help dig with Greg Shipley at the Fort Laramie site, which was really cool. And I've also dug with several other people up in Ohio, great people up there. But I hadn't been for a while, and it looks like it's going to be 6 to 8 months before I can fly again. And that's really too far for me to drive, so it'll be a while. And I noticed another question just said, Facebook user, is Butch working on another book? And actually, I've got 2 or 3 in the works right now. I don't know when they're going to be done, but they are in the works. One is one that's designed to make you laugh, and the other one's going to make you basically drool at the pages because of all the pictures and good finds in it. So there are a couple more on the way.
Is the one we're going to drool on the page, are they your finds?
No, they're mostly they're actually finds that were photographed at shows for the most part.
Oh, okay.
And these are the people that are at the shows are not always on the internet. So you're going to get this book and look at it and see things you've never seen before because some of the people aren't on the internet. But one of our staff members, Charlie Harris, has been photographing things at shows for years and years, and he's got one book out. But this is actually a collaboration with him and I, and it's going to be photographs he's taken, but there's also going to be a few of other people that have contributed photographs. And I'll tell you even more about it. It's going to concern the Southeast United States, and it is going to be Civil War oriented. So I can't tell you that much. And it should be out by the end of the year. We're wrapping it up now.
I just had a question about the permission for Facebook. You just have to do it, I think, one time, and then I think it remembers, and your name should show up every time. So I think you just have to do that one time.
Is that the question, Phil, from Pat Alexander, Ed?
Go ahead.
The question that you just answered, is that from Pat Alexander, Ed? It says, do you have to give permission every time or just once?
I think it's just one time. You give it to StreamYard and then it remembers it. But Butch, you were talking about the books from Charles Harris. And he's the guy who, I guess it's the what's it? The question.
Yeah, that's right. He's the guy that does that for the magazine.
Yeah, so when you find something and you don't know what it is, you send it to Charles and he'll figure it out for you.
That is a cool feature in the book, and we go one better than that. If Charlie can't figure it out, we also have a page called Stumped that we ask our readers what something is, because one person can't know everything.
Yeah, it makes it a cool magazine and a resource for folks. So,
and I see one on here from Tom, I believe. If I buy a subscription this month, does it run 1 year from the start? Yes, it does. That's 6 issues, so it runs
comes out every 2 months.
It comes out every 2 months, which is a year.
Okay, and my good friend Gary Toledo is watching, and Jocelyn just said say hi to him.
And I miss him.
Because we miss him.
Mr. Toledo, Arizona.
Yeah, he's in Arizona. Have you ever hunted in Arizona, Butch?
No, I haven't. That's on one of my wish lists to get out there. I don't know exactly what. Well, there's all kinds of stuff to dig out there with ghost towns and all. I have been invited on a dinosaur bone dig, fossil dig. I don't know if it's Arizona or one of the states right next to it, but it's right in that region. I don't know when I'm going to be able to go to it, though.
Well, when your eye heals up.
My eye heals, yeah. I'm going to keep an eye out for the opportunity.
Yes, and you go, I'd say go a cooler.
Oh, I got a million of them.
I'm going to keep an eye out for the opportunity. That was a good one, Butch.
Yes, he got us on that. But go in cooler weather. Don't go in the summertime for sure.
Where's the treasure, mate?
There he is. And we got a question here from YouTube from Chuck Martin for Butch. Butch, do you have a special find that you have something that you want to talk about?
Yeah, there's so many good finds, but the best find that I ever found, value-wise and rarity, and this is Civil War related, because when I first started this, I did all Civil War relic hunting. But I found a belt buckle, actually a cartridge box plate, that's the state seal of Georgia, and they only made 1,000 of these. And when you think about all the soldiers, the million or how many ever soldiers were in the Civil War, hundreds of thousands, there were only 1,000 of these made, plus not many of them got lost. That was the find of a lifetime. And I still have it, but current value is probably around 10 grand. But I still have it. It was the first one I ever found. I found it back in the early 70s. The funny thing was, and I cannot to this day explain it, but that is the only time that I ever dreamed of finding a relic and actually went out the next day and found what I was dreaming of. It was just, I got in the car the next morning, drove out there, and that was the first signal. So that's kind of a spooky thing. And it was my last signal for a while, though, because I immediately took it and started showing all my friends what I just found.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, I don't have anything against people selling their finds, but generally, it takes so much work to find the kind of stuff I have over the years that most of what I find I keep. The exception would be if a property owner wanted it or somebody I was with, just getting into the hobby. But for the most part, I want to keep and preserve the stuff I found. I don't do it for money, in other words.
Yeah, that's how I am with relics and artifacts. I would.
It's more fun to show off.
Yeah,
to show your buddies. Yeah.
Yeah, I would never sell those because you're right. It's too much work. Like
It is.
I have bought some collections at different auctions and whatnot, and people said, "Oh, you paid $300 or $400 for that." I was thinking, man, that's cheap because I know how many hours are spent to get that,
I,
and
it's
it's
people
crazy.
that don't metal detect don't understand it, but the ones that do understand it. I actually kind of estimated the value of everything I found one time. This is way back, and it turned out that all the time, just the metal detecting time I was spending, would have made less than minimum wage going out finding stuff. And
Hmm,
that's not counting the travel time, the research time. It just wouldn't have been worth it.
right.
If you want to, if I mean, there are people that want to sell their stuff, and that's fine. But to me, it's just easier to keep what I find, and then if there's something I want, I'll go out and I'll buy it from somebody that is willing to sell it. But I don't do that personally.
Yeah, I'm the same way. If it's an artifact or relic, I'm not selling it. But the guys who sell a lot are mostly the guys, the beach hunters. You
Now
just
that I would probably sell jewelry. I
yeah.
don't find that much of it because I don't really target it. I will tell you what happened though. The first diamond ring I ever found, my wife was with me and it fit her, and I never saw it again except on her face. And as soon as I pulled it out of the ground, the first thing I'm thinking of is, well, I could sell this and go out and buy something I really want. But no,
She said, "Let me see it," and that was it.
let me see it. That was the last words
That
I
was it.
heard.
That
And
was the last
and
word. Yeah.
and the funny thing about diamond rings, every one of them fits.
Oh yes, they always fit. Now there's one that actually fits me, but I have too much pride and sensibility to wear it. But it's the most valuable, probably. I've never had it appraised, but probably the most valuable piece of jewelry I ever found. It was actually where a old crack house used to be located. I found a sheriff's badge about 10 feet from it. So the ring, though, didn't belong to the sheriff. It probably belonged to one of the drug dealers or something that lived there.
Yes.
It was gold and white gold inlaid with each other. It had 14 diamonds in it. And that sucker, it felt like it weighed a pound when I pulled it out of the ground.
Yeah, it's
Put
always
it on, it actually fit. And I'm like, no way I'm wearing this in this neighborhood.
yeah. So I got a comment on Facebook, and it's from Gary Toledo, and he says, "Good to see you, Joey V, on the screen."
Yeah. Good to see you.
All right. Well, it looks like we've got the banner up, and I don't know why, but I don't have the fancy banner that rolls by the screen. But we've got, I guess we've got, since Butch is doing a drawing, you're doing for the magazine, right, Butch?
Right. 1 year subscription to the magazine. That's 6 issues.
Yes. So that's going to be the second person, but the first person, because we had it already listed for it was for a CKG carbon fiber shaft. That
Wow.
was posted. Jeff posted that before he went on his trip.
I'll trade you a subscription for it.
And the first person who won that would be Raymond Jones. If you're on, you got to text me at that number, 813-732-743, and you have 3 minutes to do that. So that would be 7:51. So you have 3 minutes for that.
And once you confirm that you are a winner, you also need to make sure that you email treasuretalkshow@gmail.com with your name, first and last name, your address, and phone number, please.
Yeah, so you got till 7:51, then we'll pull the next name, and we'll keep going down the list, and we'll give out, as soon as we get rid of that, the person wins the
Yeah, better.
carbon fiber shaft, then we'll move on to the cool prize, which is the American Digger magazine subscription.
Absolutely.
There.
There it is.
And to me, that magazine, for you folks who don't know anything about it, it is the premier digging magazine. And I notice you even have people from other countries, from
We
England
do.
in there.
And it's funny. I mean, the name of us is American Digger, and we started out just all North America, USA mostly. But once we started, now we offer digital and we also offer print. So you're going to get a print copy tonight subscription. But once we started going digital as well, we started getting a lot of overseas subscribers. And it turned out they really liked us. And the next thing we know, we're getting submissions from overseas. And we thought, well, why not? You know, we can be based in America, but we're all one big detecting family across the world. So why not have other stuff in there?
For sure.
Yeah.
And what I notice about diggers, and I guess it's about this hobby in general,
Is that the name?
Ray Jones is in the house. So Raymond Jones, you are the winner.
Congratulations, Raymond.
Congratulations.
Yeah, you got to email that information to treasuretalkshow at
At
gmail.com.
gmail.com.
Okay. All right. So we're going to go down the list here. And the winner for the second person on my list would be Aggie Hall. You have 3 minutes, so it's 7:50. So 7:53, we're going to go to the next name. So
And
that
that's
is
for
the
Butch
subscription.
Holcombe,
Congratulations.
so generous to donate the subscription for his magazine, American Digger. So you've got 3 minutes.
Actually, if whoever wins this, Aggie, or whoever does win it, if you already have a subscription, we'll just tack on another year. So
Oh, that's awesome.
yeah, you'll wind up with 2 years.
So
Michael says she's on YouTube, so Joe should check his.
yeah, so well, she can text me
Yeah.
on because of the text
Just
number.
pass that information on to us, and we'll make sure that well, if she wins or whoever wins, we'll make sure.
I haven't seen her on the chat.
YouTube,
On the
okay.
chat, so she might not be on tonight. If not, we'll go to the next name at 7.
Oh, Tom Becker wants to know how much 1 year subscription.
Oh, that's a good question.
What's that?
Butch, the 1 year subscription for a printed edition and 1 year for the digital.
No, it's just for the printed.
No, someone's asking the question. How
What?
much is
Oh,
a subscription?
Anita, I'm gonna ask the boss, how much is a digital subscription?
$19.95.
Okay, a digital is $19.95 and the print is
$38.95.
$38.95. That's straight from my wife's mouth. So right.
And are you able to, if you buy the digital subscription, are you able to buy a previous year?
They are available as back issues. I'm not sure exactly how the digital works, but I know you can buy individual issues as far back as you want.
Okay, cool.
Oh.
Because I know the guys always ask me about, and I've got a few copies at the shop that I won't let go. The Jim Tibbetts.
Oh yes, that's the biggest selling issue we've ever had.
Right, and I won't let those go, will I, Joe?
No. Actually, if you come in on a Saturday when Phil is
Uh-oh.
doing errands, I'll sell you his copies. I'm just kidding.
eBay.
Phil got red. Look at him. He's
Yes,
mad.
right.
I am a little red. I
I'm
don't want
just
to part
kidding.
with my co-finds,
Oh
but
my God.
that magazine is just, I
You
showed
are
that to
right.
people because
Jim Tibbetts could have been a millionaire if he just bought every copy we had and autographed them all. Then put them
yes.
on.
And the next time I see him, I'm having him autograph them, and
Yes.
I'll probably do some kind of fundraiser with it for the club. But that magazine, I show it to people because people say, "Well, can people really find treasure today?"
Yeah.
To me, treasure can be, a wheat penny. It doesn't matter. It can be anything.
A
But
friendship.
yes, the friendship with the people, your friends you run into,
Yeah,
and you
Joe.
meet along this journey. That's the true treasure. But
That's true.
a coin found can be treasure, but they're talking about shipwrecked Spanish treasure. I said, well, this guy found it.
That's
So
right.
and they're just amazed by it. And I think we got to pull the next name, don't we, Joe?
Yeah.
All right, the
Sure.
next name is Robert Ridgway II.
Congratulations, Robert.
Robert Ridgway II. If you're on, just text me on Facebook or text my phone number there because you'll be the winner of the subscription because Aggie is not there. So we'll scratch her. All righty. So Let me just keep going with questions. Did you have any on YouTube, Joe?
No, there was actually
I do want
there
to ask
was
you.
one from Facebook. It just says Facebook user. Is there a discount for buying multiple years?
Oh, that's a good idea.
I don't
No,
know if they're talking about hard copy or digital, but
generally it's short of a subscription. They're all the same price, so there's not a discount.
Well, you
The
got-
only exception to that is someone like, for instance, Phil. We wholesale them to dealers, to legitimate dealers, and they, of course, get a discount on them. But otherwise, the subscription's the only discount.
Okay, well, this comment is from Pat Alexander, Ed, and she, I guess it's a she, because she said, and Robert Ridgway is in the house, so
Woo!
he's the
Hey,
winner.
congratulations!
congratulations, Robert, on
Yes, he
the
gets the
subscription.
subscription, so that is done. Perfect. Hey, this comment says, "I love how men always need to ask the women."
I'm honest. Notice I don't even hide it.
Yeah, I do the same thing. I ask my wife.
I wear the pants in this family, don't I, Anita?
Hey, Butch,
Told
now
her.
he told her.
Yeah.
Over.
Hey, Butch, now when you hunt, do you use a pinpointer?
Oh, I can't get by without a pinpointer.
Do you use this one here, the Deus one?
No, I have not even tried one, believe it or not. I've still used the Garrett
Garrett.
carrot.
Yes.
I don't know why. I had never used a pinpointer till I got the carrot, and somehow things clicked with it, and I'm like, I love this.
We already did too.
Yeah,
But I've got to try the Deus pinpointer sooner or later. I've just never gotten around to doing it.
Yeah, it's the customers I know who use it with their Deus just love it. I
Mhm.
haven't done it yet, but I will soon. I started digging before I had a pinpointer when I started detecting, and I didn't probably for 15 years I didn't use a pinpointer till I saw the diggers guys on the TV shows had them, and everybody wanted them in the store. So I said, well, I got to start using a pinpointer.
Well, the few that I had tried up until that time, it seemed like they frequently broke and they were bulky, and I don't know, they just weren't convenient. Whereas the Garrett carrot, I mean, I could just stick it in my pocket if I wanted to and carry it.
Right. Yeah, I think that was
great
the start of the pinpointer revolution there.
Yeah, I think so too. And you never really appreciate a pinpointer until you get in a trashy area like a yard
Yeah.
where you don't want to dig a bunch of holes to find what you're finding. That way, with a pinpointer, you can surgically dig it.
Yeah, you get right
Go
on it.
right to it and not make a mess.
Yeah, when I was digging relics in downtown Tampa, I used my hand. I didn't use a pinpointer. I would just grab the dirt with my hand and run it in front of the coil. But after seeing the TV shows and everybody has a pinpointer, I figured, well, I gotta have a pinpointer too. But that Deus 2 pinpointer or the Deus pinpointer paired to the detector, everybody I know who uses it just swears by it.
Oh yeah, that's there's a couple guys I hunt with, and one of them's got it. I know. I've never tried it, but he loves it.
Yeah.
It's got a different sound than the Garrett carrot, but it seems to work well. I haven't used it myself, but trying it for customers that come in the shop.
Does that actually come through the
Yeah, it's wired.
Headphone.
Okay, that's great invention or
Mhm.
innovation.
Yeah, so you're not lifting your headphone off to hear your pinpointer.
That is nice. Mine, I've got my pinpointer on vibrate.
Me
And
too.
that's not a hunting strategy. It was just I was out with it one time when it was new, and I couldn't figure out how to change the sounds in it. And finally, I hit one button and it wouldn't make a sound; it just vibrated, and I just never changed it back. So that's the only reason I do it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
that's how-
carrot actually has six settings.
Yeah, it does. Since then, I went on YouTube to figure out how to change it back, but I'm like, I like the vibrate mode pretty good. So,
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
how I run mine most of the time is in the vibrate mode.
Yeah.
Well, it looks like we're getting that hour went quick, didn't it, Butch?
it did, and I get an hour break, then I've got another hour to work because American Diggers Relic Roundup will be coming up on Spreaker, their our
Okay.
podcast.
on the podcast. Yes,
Yeah.
cool. So
We have
Only
one
is
more.
not a podcast.
Oh,
We have
Jeff,
one more last question I want to get to.
Mhm.
Ian Backhaus. He's asking Phil, do you have a DS2 in stock? I know the answer to this, but I'll let Phil say it.
Oh, of course we have it in stock. We have both the 10 and the 11-inch.
please
Uh,
read what
The
you-
9 and the 11.
I'm. What did I say?
You said
10?
10.
Oh, I got a new size of
Go with the
taste. Yes.
program.
you were
Thanks.
Try.
Yeah,
You know,
thanks for correcting me. And my friend Gary Toledo says, love all you guys. And don't forget the club meeting coming up in Tampa, Florida. Yeah, that's tomorrow night, folks. That's a good reminder for. Are you in any clubs, Butch?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I'm not real active anymore, but I was one of the founding members of the North Georgia Relic Hunters Association back in the early, I guess it was about 72 they formed. I didn't even realize I was one of the founding members until the charter was published a few years ago. And I'm like, wait, I was at that meeting. I'm one of the founders of this. And,
That's awesome.
you know, but the thing is, I cannot recommend clubs enough because that's how you find other people interested in what you're finding. They show you the strategies. They,
Right.
you know,
Learn a lot.
get to know somebody good enough. You can even swap spots, although you got to take that, you know, as it comes.
Yeah.
But, and that's another thing, guys, we support our clubs. If you guys ever have a hunt or something, need prizes for clubs, just come to American Digger. We'll fix you up with something.
Okay. Well, thank you for that. Yeah, because our club is pretty big. Before pandemic, we were like 110 people. Now we're about half that coming back. So
Yeah, well, that's the way some clubs didn't even make it through the pandemic, sad as that is.
yeah.
But
Well,
I
here in
know-
Florida, we kind of worked around it and stayed safe, so nobody got sick, and we're coming back. So that's an awesome thing. But Butch, I wanted to thank you for coming on here with us and
Thank
making the
everybody for
donation.
listening in. Yeah. And,
Yes, Butch, thank you so much. It's always
Yeah.
a pleasure.
Yeah,
thank you guys. And I'm gonna go eat some dinner. Then I invite everybody at 9 o'clock to come over and see what we got cooking on American Diggers Relic Roundup. It's gonna be a good one too.
absolutely. Go over there and see Butch over there. But thank you for doing this with us, and thank you for giving away the magazine.
My
And also,
pleasure.
Absolutely.
thank you for publishing that magazine because it is the
It's
best.
a labor of love. It's
Yeah.
I can't imagine doing anything else for the rest of my life. So
Yes, it's an awesome. Well, it
Yeah,
shows
thank
in
you.
the magazine. It really does. So thank you, and thank you, Jocelyn,
Thank you.
and thank you, Joe. And I guess I better end this broadcast before we go too much over. I think we're 3 minutes over. So thank you, Butch.
All the
thanks,
viewers. Thanks to all the viewers. We love you guys. Keep it
Absolutely.
up.
Yes. See you guys. Dig deeper. Happy hunting.
Bye.